Hello, Virginia here with Jenny Lee Gems. I decided since it's the holiday season, I'm going to make a little Christmas basket. And here's a little Rudolph center I made. It's got lots of sparkle in it. His nose is red, but very hard. So I wanted to show you today how to mix colors of pine needles in your baskets. It's really simple. It looked very hard to me, but it really isn't. A friend of mine showed me how to do it. Her name is Robin, and I made a little Halloween basket mixing colors. So you start your basket off the same way you always do. Tie a knot. Make sure to leave a tail. If you watched my instructions previously, make sure to leave this tail on the first row, and we're gonna cut that diagonally later. So I've picked, I think I'm going to use a silver because I haven't used the metallic silver in anything yet. And I think it's a great holiday color. And here's a bright red I'm going to use. I think that's actually poppy, but I like the brightness of it. So I've got two colors of needles here, of course, green and a deep red. So I've got this Kelly green that I've used in other baskets, 4-leaf clover, and I dyed those myself. And then I've got this really deep red that I bought from my friend Susanna, who dyed them. So I'm going to use those. And so I'll just show you, you cut off your ends as usual. Well, this is the way I do it. We just trim the ends. And then I just peel the cap all the way off so that I have it ready to go, ready to place in my basket. You'll notice my little fingernails here. I've got the Grinch on there because I'm thinking of doing this Grinch basket next. At any rate, so here we go. We've cut our caps off. You just do it randomly, maybe half of the red and half of the green or whatever you feel you want more of. And I just get them all mixed up together. So the way Robin taught me was don't try to gauge and count, just pick whatever comes next into your hand and work it through. So I get them all cut, they're ready to go. I don't cut all of them, just what I'm going to use, because you don't want your needles to dry out. Now these have been treated, but it's just a habit. I only cut off as much as I'm going to use in the next few days. So then as you are, I'm just going to lay them down here. I think this will be easier. As you're filling your pine needles, you just randomly grab them. And that's how I did this. See how the colors mixed up? So I just grab whatever comes to my hand first, stick it down there in the center, hide the tail. Now some of the tails, I try not to cut too much off because I don't like to waste pine needles. But see how they're light? But it really doesn't matter because you're going to hide it down in there anyway. Remember, shiny side out so you get your best look. And then you just continue doing whatever design you're going to do on your basket. And in this case, I'm just doing the V-stitch. When I start my baskets out, I like to make sure they're very secure. And I usually wrap the first row, but I don't want to waste the color on these pine needles. So just continue going on that way. Make your little, either a single stitch or V-stitch or whatever you want to do, whatever stitch you feel comfortable with. This one's going to be a quick and easy basket because I'm leaving town and I don't want to leave something unfinished. I just finished up 2 baskets, and so I want to do something small. So you see how that mixes up in the color? Now I'll go a little bit further and show you what it looks like as I go along. There's our little Rudolph. So now if you've watched my other videos, you know how to do this, but we're getting ready to start the second row. And we've got that tail that we left there. We tied it off. And we've got this pine needles tail here. So I leave that a little long. Otherwise, as you're working with it, it can start coming unraveled. So I just leave it until it's very secure. Then I go back, as you know, and I trim it. And I trim it diagonally. And that is so it will lay right down underneath this next row that I'm coming up. You see how that hides that very well. So we'll keep going, and I'll show you what happens next on the second row. See, it nestles right up against there, and it's gonna hide that very nicely. It'll hide that little tail because we've cut it diagonally. Okay, now second row, I'm gonna go ahead and connect here. We will do it upside down. And I'm just gonna pick up one of those threads. They're a little tight. And I want to keep the same pattern, so I'm going to go V-stitch. And I'll pick it up through the same hole right there. If I can get my fingers working right. There we go. So all throughout this first row, I've just gone ahead and added, just grab whatever pops up because I've mixed them already. There's a red. Hide the tail down in there in the middle, shiny side out. Grab a green. So you can alternate, just grab whatever comes up is what the norm is. Okay. That's what it's beginning to look like on the side. Pretty cute. There's the color mix. And I'll just do one more stitch for you, and I have to do this upside down. So I'm going to continue the V-stitch for a few rows, and I'm just going to use the first stitch, and I'll do that through the entire next row, row 2. So I'll just keep working with this. These will lay down flatter. And I'll show you what I'm gonna do next. But mainly the idea is to just keep adding this mix, trim them up as you need them. I've got a whole stack here ready to go. And just put them in as they pop up, or you can do every other one, whatever you choose, and it gives it a great effect. I'll be back in a little while. So I'm still working on this little Rudolph basket, and this is the beauty of your basket talking to you. So I was going along with the red thread, and I'm mixing up my red and green pine needles just randomly in here. That's what the color's looking like on the back. But then I started looking at the basket, and I thought, oh, I think Rudolph needs to have some bright reindeer threads up in here. So what I'm trying to do is I'm going to continue with the red all around, except where his beautiful little antlers come. So I'm going to try to do silver antlers following up along where his antlers come up. So I'm going to blend 2 threads. And the way I did that was I used the silver where I wanted it, where I wanted to do the stitches. Then I finished it off, and I'm just going to leave this hang, and I'll work it through the middle of the pine needles to hide it. If you've seen some of my other baskets, you've seen where I worked with 4 threads at a time, and it's kind of hectic, but it's doable. So I am going to keep working with this. So I'm going to stop the silver now. I'm going to do 4. His antlers are getting larger, so there's going to be 4 here. Then I'm going to have 2 or 3 red stitches, and then I'm going to do 4 on this side. And I'm going to try to carry that pattern throughout the basket so that the silver antlers continue to grow. Let's see how that works. Thanks for watching. So I added 3 red stitches. Now I'm switching back to the silver thread, which is awful tight in there. So I'm just trying to hold my red thread, which is on a separate needle, out and away so it doesn't get in the middle of anything. And I'm just going through the stitch 3 times to form my little silver antler. And we'll see what this looks like when it's done, but it is what it is. So now the way I'm hiding my thread, I'm just carrying it towards the bottom. So you could see the silver on the back. It's been carried towards the bottom. Now, if you're wrapping, you can hide it totally, but I'm just kind of tucking it in under there and then reusing it. So you're not starting and stopping threads all along the way. So there's one. I'm going to hold this little red line way over here out of the way. And I'm going to go back and I'm going to do, I guess I'll do 4 so it matches the other side. And I'm just going through 3 times. On the same thread. And it's giving a little glowy silver antler effect. So I have to keep trying to work this down, but at the end you can go back and get it to the bottom so it doesn't show. And the red's obviously going to blend a lot better than the silver, but it'll be pretty much to the back, so you won't notice it. So I'll just keep going here, and we'll see what it looks like when I get to the second row. I may not like it at all and take it out and just do those 2 rows over, but this is, I think this will be kind of fun, different. It's just a fun little Christmas basket anyway. So here's my 3rd stitch, and I'll get a feel of it, how it's going to look by the time I get to the next row. Looks like there's a lot of green there, but that's okay. It starts turning. The coil starts turning and twisting, and you're going to get a mix of colors. So you'll notice on the back, I tape down all my tails till I get ready to deal with them because they get in my way. Anyway, I think that's going to be cute. It'll be different anyway. We'll see what happens. So at this point, I've created the 4 antlers on this side and the 4 antlers on this side. I don't want to carry my silver all the way through to this point again. So I'm going to go ahead and work it down. You can either tie a knot, you know, work it down, tie a knot, or you could just work it down to some lower coils. So I'm just going to work it down and cut it off so I don't have to deal with it, because I don't want to hold on to it all that way. So I'm just going to pull it down, maybe tie it off if I feel it's not secure, or as I've mentioned in previous videos, I don't mind doing little knots on the bottom of my basket. I don't like knots on the side. So I'll go ahead and trim this off. And I won't need this silver thread again until I get clear back up here on this next row. So I'll continue it throughout. But now I'm just dealing with the red. And I just have those tails. Sorry, I'm turning it around. So we'll go back to the red, and we'll keep going all the way around until we get to his antlers on this side, and I'll pull the silver back in just like I did before. And we'll see how that looks. So here's how far I've gotten on this cute little Rudolph basket. I've completed his antlers on the bottom. And all I did was started with the V-stitch and kept adding extra V-stitches to make his antlers get larger and larger. So he's really cute, really shiny. It's kind of hard to see the glitter, but I did this bottom in a 2-layer process. Glitter white on the bottom, and then after that dried, I placed Rudolph in there and added a clear coat. So it's a 2-step process. But these are really cute little bottoms. Make some quick Christmas gifts. And hopefully I can get this done by Christmas. We shall see. But I wanted to show you how cute the colors are mixing. That bright green. This is a Kelly green I made for a basket for one of my sister-in-laws. And look at how cute the colors are mixing. The bright green and then the dark red. Ignore the mess on the back. I'll cut those off later. But this is how it starts looking when you mix those colors. Here's going up the side. Sometimes it'll be green, sometimes red. I picked up this cute little clip. I like to train my needles to go around. I'll just continue with this and show you what it looks like when I get up the sides. But I really enjoy how the antlers came out. Hopefully it looks like antlers. Here's a few others that I did with the mix of colors. This was a little Halloween basket. Little witch and owl witch as the charm. But I mixed an orange and a black and just used a walnut as the center. So you don't have to have expensive centers or bottoms on these. You can use a walnut or just anything round that you can attach your thread to. And see how cute the colors start working their way out? Now here is a purple, mauve-y purple, with just a basic little center that I have in my training kits. And just the regular color. And look at how cute the colors start coming out. It's just a fun and easy way to mix up without having to add a lot of beads and, you know, embellish it. And it moves along pretty quickly. Thanks for watching. I'll show you how my little Rudolph looks as we get up the side. He's going to be cute. Thanks for watching.